Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rich Bradley, President of the Board of Public Service. This is the regular meeting of the Board of Public Service for Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. This is a public meeting, and there are no lettings today, but we do have one hearing, which we will handle at this time. Hearing number 107082-RH is being conducted pursuant to section 26.100.030 of the revised code of the city of St. Louis. The purpose of this hearing is to determine whether to revoke the conditional use permit numbered as 107082-RH issued for Good Trip, CO Abdul Jabbar Ahmed, to occupy 4347 South Broadway Street, to operate a gas station and convenience store with no liquor and no cooking. The parties have been notified of the violations of the conditions of this conditional use permit in writing by certified mail, along with the posted notice of today's hearing date. This hearing has been convened in order to address the issues surrounding conditions number 4, 8, 9, 10, and 13, which are as follows. Condition 4, all signage must be applied for and approved by the Office of the Zoning Administrator and Land Clearance for Redevelopment Authority. Condition number 8, no outside storage of any type. Condition number 9, no loitering signs will be placed prominently on the building and shall be enforced by the management. Condition number 10, no wrapping papers, individual blunts, or other types of drug paraphernalia will be sold on the premise at any time. And condition number 13, the applicant must maintain the large grass area behind the station. The Office of the Zoning Administrator has the burden to prove the conditional use permit conditions have not been complied with. After all evidence of the Zoning Administrator has been presented, the board will ask for additional testimony, if any, in support of this revocation. Then the conditional use holder will be given the opportunity to present evidence. Lastly, the board will hear other testimony in opposition to the revocation, if any. The testimony today is being recorded. When you come forward, please state your name and address and be sworn in. As you testify, please direct your comments to the board and not to those in the audience. Members of the audience are asked to remain silent and not coach the witnesses. During your testimony, members of this board may have questions for you. Following the hearing, the board will proceed with its regular agenda. Following the conclusion of the regular agenda, the board will deliberate, discuss, and vote on the hearing. The board will notify the conditional use holder of its decision by mail in about 2 weeks. The Board of Public Service has in its possession the following documents which are being introduced into evidence. Item 1, a certified copy of the zoning code of the city of St. Louis. Item 2, a memorandum dated July 22nd, 2024 from the zoning plan examiner to the zoning administrator stating that on July 22nd, 2024, the zoning inspector found violations of conditions number 4, 8, 9, 10, and 13 of the conditional use permit. This memo includes photographs of the noted violations. Item 3, a printout of an email thread sent on July 17th, 2024 by Sandra Long, zoning plan examiner, regarding questions about violations of the conditional use permit. Item 4, a letter dated July 23rd, 2024, sent to DBA Good Trip, CO Baraka LLC, 4347 South Broadway, St. Louis, Missouri, 63111, from the board secretary, warning of the violations of conditions number 4, 8, 9, 10, and 13 of the permit that were found upon a recent site inspection and providing notice for today's hearing. Item 5, a letter dated July 23rd, 2024, sent to Abdul Jabbar Ahmed, CO Baraka LLC, 4347 South Broadway, St. Louis, Missouri, 63111, from the board secretary, warning of the violations of conditions number 4, 8, 9, 10, and 13 of the permit that were found upon a recent site inspection and providing notice for today's hearing. Item 6, a letter dated July 23rd, 2024, sent to Baraka LLC, CO Abdul Jabbar Ahmed at 4347 South Broadway, St. Louis, Missouri, 63111, from the board secretary warning of the violations of conditions number 4, 8, 9, 10, and 13 of the permit that were found upon a recent site inspection and providing notice for today's hearing. Item number 7, photographs of the notice of today's hearing posted outside 4347 South Broadway Street. And item number 8, a copy of the public notice posted for today's hearing in the City Journal on July 30th, 2024, August 6th, 2024, and August 13th, 2024. At this time, the board asks a representative of the Office of Zoning Administrator to please come forward and be sworn in.
Raise your right hand, please. The testimony that you're about to give before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yep.
State your name for the board.
Sandra Long, 1200 Market Street.
Can you please tell the board about the noted violations for this conditional use permit?
So as of my visit this morning, they were still in violation of number 4, the signage, number 8, the outside storage, and number 10, the drug paraphernalia. They did clean up a lot. The whole building's cleaned up a lot more than it was. They posted no loitering signs. They took care of the back of the lot where all that was all overgrown and all the trash was there. But I still found quite a few violations and quite a few temporary signage.
Okay,
They've applied for a building permit that if they took down all the temporary signage, we could approve it. But with the temporary signage up there, we can't approve it.
okay, so just in summary, we're still in violation of 4, 8, and 10. And I just want to ask a question about condition number 8. So no outside storage of any type, so they are not allowed by their permit to have any propane or ice outside whatsoever.
I did check. I checked with somebody else about that, and that's considered outside storage. So yes, sir.
Okay, all right, at this time, I would like to open the floor for the board to ask any questions from the Office of Zoning Administrator. Okay, seeing no questions at this time, thank you, Ms. Long. At this time, if there's anyone else present who wishes to testify, the noted conditions have not been complied with, please come forward and be sworn in. Not been complied with. I'm looking in the chat. I don't see anyone. I don't see anyone else on the screen. So one more time, if there's anyone else present who wishes to testify, the noted conditions have not been complied with, please bring it to my attention at this time that you would like to testify. Seeing none. At this time, the board asks the conditional use permit holder to please come forward and be sworn in.
Where did he go? Hi, please raise your right hand for me, please.
They probably need to unmute too.
Okay. You want to there you go.
All the way at the bottom of your screen on the left side. I think I have you.
See, there we go. There we go.
There you go.
Okay. The testimony that you're about to give before this board shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes,
Please state your name and address for the board.
my name is Abdul Jabbar Al Hamid. My address is 4347 South Broadway, St. Louis, Missouri, 63111.
Thank you.
Thank you. You can put your hand down, sir. So at this time, you heard the testimony of the zoning administrator's office, and I would ask you if you would please respond to the noted and current violations, which are 4, 8, and 10 of your conditional use permit, please.
Okay. Number 4, me, isn't it?
Yeah, my name is Sean O'Gorman. I'm a lawyer and my bar number is 35112. I'm here to help facilitate this entire matter. And while I'm certainly not testifying, I want to make sure that everybody's, you know, that he's answering your questions and that, you know, that sort of facilitate all of that. And would note that actually I was hired, I was referred to Ahmed from the man who's doing his signs for him. So they've applied for the process. They're doing all of that. The propane, outside propane that's a new twist that we weren't aware of, and we can obviously deal with that. Although I wouldn't consider, you know, it's kind of, anyway, in any event, the biggest problem that we are dealing with is the paraphernalia. And we're kind of stuck on what does that mean? We don't know what paraphernalia that we need to take off shelf. We don't want to sell it, whatever the hell it is. We don't want to sell it, but we need to know what it is so we can take it off the shelves.
Right. So what I would recommend there is an ordinance that dictates what you can and can't sell. And so my recommendation to you would be is to work with the zoning inspector, the zoning plan examiner, ask the questions about what it is, because she has obviously visited the store. They know what the items are you're displaying that are not there, and they could certainly explain it to you. So you are saying that they have not had that opportunity, or you have not had that chance to walk through that with them at this point?
Right, and if Ms. Long was available, that would be wonderful, because my clients obviously want to comply. They want to have this all done. They're moving in the right direction considerably. But the individual blunts we were trying to figure out what that meant. And if there's an ordinance that's easy, we can do that, or perhaps Ms. Long will be able to just tell us what it is and it's gone.
Okay, so at this time, what I'd like to do is open the floor up for questions from any of our board members for our conditional use permit holder and their legal counsel.
Yes, I appreciate the comments from both the individuals. When we come to these hearings, it's obviously incumbent upon us to ask any questions if warranted. And also it's just, as I've said a few times before, it's refreshing to see folks show up at the hearing, be attentive, and then it's very important to expedite, if in fact there is no revocation, to expedite things so we don't meet again, so to speak, in this type of manner. So that's just my commentary. I don't have any questions. So thanks for being here. And we definitely like to get things resolved expeditiously, as I said.
Well, that's a vote of confidence for Zoom meetings.
Thank you, Director. Other comments or questions from other board directors? Okay, so I think what I'm hearing in the testimony, just to sum this up, gentlemen, is that you would have no problem with coming into compliance with the remaining 3 conditions that are there. You want to come into compliance. You want to work with the zoning office and understand what drug paraphernalia it is that you cannot have, and you're willing to do all of that, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So at this time, thank you, gentlemen, for your time. We'll stop asking you questions. And finally, if there's anyone present who is opposing this revocation that we have not heard from yet, that wish to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. And I'm not seeing anyone in the chat. I'm not seeing anyone else on the screen, but I will call one more time. If there's anyone else present opposing this revocation that we have not heard from that wish to testify, please come forward and be sworn in. Bring it to my attention now. Seeing none, the matter concerning hearing number 107082-RH is now closed and submitted. The board will now proceed with its regular agenda. Can you call the roll, please?
He's on mute.
Michelle,
Thank you.
you're muted.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, President Brandon, could you repeat that?
Yes, ma'am. Can you call the roll, please?
Thank you. I apologize for that. I have someone in the room. Director
problem.
Coyle,
Present.
Director Davis,
Present.
Director Hayes,
Present.
Director Pearson,
Present.
Director Scobie,
Present.
Director Williams, President Bradley.
Present, we have a quorum. I will call this meeting to order.
Regular business from the president. Recommendation that approval be given as follows. Abstract of proposals received May 21st, 2024 for the public work is advertised under letting number 8772. Reconstruction of Hamilton Bridge over Metrolink project number BRO-B115. The lowest responsible bid was received by Gershishin Construction Company, Inc. for $4,127,427.50, and it is recommended that it be given preliminary approval. Plans and specifications for letting number 8776 for 20th Street Mobility Improvement, BPS project number 2020-40-012, federal project number CMAC-STP-BUILD-5716. The estimated cost of this work is $13,500,000, authorized by multiple accounts. PSA number 1278, Grand Drive Bridge Reconstruction, federal project number BRO-R096, with HR Green, Inc. for the maximum agreement amount of $670,663.24. From the Office of Special Events, request for the following to be approved, subject to certain conditions. There are 9 special events to be declared as festival zones. Number 1, Southside Music Fest will take place on Iowa from Winnebago to the Alley on August 17th from 3 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Setup and teardown will start on August 16th at 8 a.m. and end on August 18th at noon. Number 2, Big Muddy Blues Festival will take place on Morgan Street between 1st and 2nd Street on September 1st from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Setup and teardown will start on September 1st at 8 a.m. and end on September 2nd at 1 a.m. Number 3, Trailnet Gyro Della Matuya will take place in Crondelet Park and throughout the city on September 1st from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Setup and teardown will start at 8 a.m. and end at 5 p.m. Number 4, Q in the Lou will take place in the streets throughout the landing on September 6th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., September 7th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., and September 8th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Setup and teardown will start on September 3rd at 8 a.m. and end on September 9th at 5 p.m. Number 5, Central West End Jazz and Blues Festival will take place on Euclid between Forest Park and West Pine on September 7th from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Setup and teardown will start at 10 a.m. and end at 9 p.m. Number 6, Shriners The Amazing Care Family Affair will take place in the streets surrounding the Shriners Hospital parking lot on September 14th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Setup and teardown will start on September 13th at noon and end on September 14th at 6 p.m. Number 7, SOS will take place on Illinois Avenue between Arsenal and Wyoming on September 21st from noon to 10 p.m. Setup and teardown will start at 9 a.m. and end at 11 p.m. Number 8, St. Gabriel's Parish Picnic will take place in the streets surrounding Francis Park on October 4th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. and October 5th from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Setup and teardown will start on October 3rd at 5 a.m. and end on October 6th at 3 p.m. Number 9, Artica will take place on 2nd Street from Gracia to Sear and Cedar from 3rd to 1st Street on October 5th and October 6th from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. Setup and teardown will start on October 4th at 9 a.m. and end on October 7th at 8 p.m. From the Director of Parks, Recreation, and Forestry, recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 132414, request by Starfire Corporation to conduct a 1.3 and 1.4 pyrotechnic display in Forest Park at Central Field for the Great Forest Park Balloon Race on Friday, September the 20th between 9 p.m. and 9:40 p.m. From the Director of Public Utilities, recommendation that the board declares as emergency action the following: Chain of Rocks filter plant, filter programmable logic controllers, replacement and upgrades. This work is needed to replace damaged and obsolete filter control and monitor PLCs that are past their expected usable life and no longer supported or repairable. The estimated cost of this work is $160,000. Make repairs to pipe truck numbers 280-415 and 282-415. The estimated cost of repairs is $14,570. From the Director of Streets, recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Application number 132341, request by Patios to encroach with tables and chairs for a sidewalk cafe utilizing 98 square feet with liquor at 614 through 632 South 7th Street. Application number 132404, request by Pie Guy to encroach with tables and chairs for a sidewalk cafe utilizing 198 square feet with liquor at 4189 through 91 Manchester Avenue. From the Directors of Public Safety and Utilities, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request by Ariane Neighbor to adjust the boundary plat at 2704 McNair Avenue in City Block 1800. Request by Saul Urban and THD Design Group to consolidate 3 parcels into a singular tract for redevelopment of existing historical building for conversion into a 173-unit apartment building at 2000 North Broadway in City Block 320. Request from Union Electric doing business as Ameren, Missouri to subdivide the electric substation at 2250 Osage Street to exist on a separate parcel from the building at 4006 South Broadway in City Block 2608. From the Directors of Public Utilities and Streets, joint recommendation that the following be approved, subject to certain conditions. Request by Union Electric doing business as Ameren, Missouri to install a new 12 kV interrupter and pole change at 3656 Merrimack Street. Request from Union Electric doing business as Ameren, Missouri to set a new pole and backfill at 515 Wilmington Avenue. We have 5 conditional use permits and 1 bed and breakfast from the Director of Public Safety.
Good afternoon again, Mr. President and members of the board. My name is Sandra Long, zoning plan examiner for the city, and I'll be representing the building commissioner at today's meeting. For board number 766 transmitted herewith are recommendations for the following conditional use agenda applications. Approval with conditions is recommended for 5 applications: 3204 North 19th, 3912 North 21st Street, 7323 to 25 South Broadway, 2322 Union, and 2501 Clifton. Approval with conditions is recommended for 1 bed and breakfast application, 2501 Clifton. I request that these recommendations be approved as submitted.
Thank you. Are there any questions on today's conditional uses? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to,
Pearson.
sorry, Director.
I have a motion to approve Director Pearson. Do I have a second?
Second, Hayes.
Thank you, Director. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle?
Aye.
Director Davis?
Aye.
Director Hayes?
Aye.
Director Pearson?
Aye.
Director Scobie?
Aye.
Director Williams? President Bradley?
Aye, today's conditional uses are approved. Hearing number 107082-RH, Good Trip to occupy 4347 South Broadway as a gas station and convenience store. We heard from the zoning plan examiner that there are 3 conditions that are currently in violation. Condition 4 for signage, condition 8 for outdoor storage, and condition 10 for drug paraphernalia. We heard from our conditional use permit holder that they are in process of getting those 3 items cleared up. They've cleared up all the other items that were in question, and they will get with the zoning plan examiner on the drug paraphernalia for clarification going forward. There were no one else present to testify in support or opposition to this revocation hearing. So with that brief summary, I'll open the floor up for any discussion.
Motion to approve pending resolution of final violations?
And is that your motion, Doctor?
Yes,
And I would ask, could you put a time frame on that, please?
within 60 days? 30 days,
Okay?
in
so
30 days.
We have a motion to resolve the 3 remaining conditions within 30 days. Is there a second?
Second, Pearson.
Second.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
Director Williams, President Bradley.
Aye. So they have 30 days to resolve the conditions. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to turn your attention to our meeting minutes from last Tuesday, August 6th, 2024, Tuesday. Is there any questions or comments on the meeting minutes as presented? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
Motion to approve Davis?
Second Coyle.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, the meeting minutes are approved. Today's agenda, are there any questions or comments on today's BPS meeting agenda? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to approve, please.
So moved, Scobie.
Second, Hayes.
Thank you, directors. Can you call the roll, please?
Director Coyle,
Aye.
Director Davis,
Aye.
Director Hayes,
Aye.
Director Pearson,
Aye.
Director Scobie,
Aye.
President Bradley.
Aye, today's agenda is approved. Before we adjourn, are there any questions or comments from any of our board directors? Seeing none, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn, please.
So moved, Hayes.
Second Coyle.
Thank you. All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Meeting adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank
Have
you.
a great afternoon.
Thanks, y'all.